Are you a manager who's struggling to have effective meetings and you're not sure where to start? Well, stick around and I'll tell you a few different tactics to skyrocket your meetings and to be more effective. First off, why are you having a meeting in the first place? Are you having a meeting just to get people together to feel good about something that you're doing in the company? Do you really understand what the purpose of your meeting is? If you don't, or if you don't have any really definitive outcome, that could be the first reason why your meetings are really failing. There are really nowadays two types of meetings: the Zoom meeting or the Microsoft Teams meeting, and an in-person meeting. I really find it effective when people are sitting in the same room when you're trying to get something done. Zoom meetings and Microsoft Teams meetings or online meetings can be helpful when you're reporting out or when somebody is not physically in the same building as you, but they're not as effective. So if you're in the same building, the first reason or the first step you need to do is start having meetings in the same room where you can hold people accountable to get things done. The second thing to consider is who's actually in the meeting. What's the purpose of having John or Mary or whoever you're inviting to the meeting? Really, you have to think about, are those people really necessary? Are they actually adding value to your meeting? Or are they just spectators and part of the peanut gallery? It's very critical that you assess everybody that's in your meeting and know that you can actually manage them. If you have someone who's really technical, they have a lot of value they can add, but they're going to steamroll your meeting, it's probably best to just have a one-on-one with them, because you're just going to waste everybody's time for an hour or the time that you have booked for this meeting. So it's really critical to know that you can manage the personalities within your meeting. The third item to consider or tactic within a meeting is, before you get to the meeting, know what your actual purpose and what your actual outcome is in the meeting. Really understand, what is the purpose? Why are you bringing all these people together? Why are you wasting their time? It's really critical to have that purpose outcome identified. And when you get in that meeting 5 minutes before the meeting starts, write that on the whiteboard or piece of paper that's on the wall, to make sure that everybody understands what is the purpose of the meeting and what's the outcome of the meeting. Because then as people start going off track, you can point them back and say, hey, going back to the purpose of this meeting or the outcome of the meeting. So it's really critical that you can always point back to that and be able to bring people back in line and not fall off track or go on to a rabbit hole or another tangent that's not related to the actual meeting. The fourth tactic to consider, if you want a very effective meeting and you want to actually have things happen either in this meeting or outside of the meeting, is having someone taking the minutes of the meeting, ideally yourself, and documenting the minutes and the actions. What is actually going to be a follow-up outside this meeting? So if there's things that don't get accomplished within the meeting, it's really critical to have those things identified that need to get followed up on after the meeting, and also a date, an actionee, who's going to be responsible for those things. So if you're just going into the meeting, having a long discussion, feeling good after the end of the meeting, and you haven't really accomplished anything, then you've just wasted a lot of time. So again, it's really critical to have meeting minutes, what the actions are, who's going to own the actions, and when are you actually going to follow up with those people. It's very critical to follow up to close off actions, because a lot of people will come out of a meeting, they'll say, oh yeah, I'll do that, with the expectation, the assumption, the hope that you're not going to follow up with them. If you can start slightly changing this behavior by following up with somebody, then they're more likely in the next meeting or your future meetings to realize, hey, I'm actually going to have to do something when I speak up in the meeting. So holding people accountable and actually doing that after the meeting is very important, because that starts changing the slight behavior of people who like to just talk a lot, accept actions, and just go on and do their own thing. and not actually complete the action that you identified. Now let's talk about the personalities that are going to be within your meeting. You've got two different types of people, maybe three, but let's just classify them as two different types of people. You've got people that are going to be supporters to your purpose and your outcome, and people that are going to be detractors from your purpose and outcome. So you really, again, ideally you're picking people within to be part of your meeting that are all going to be supporters, but sometimes that's not always going to be the case. And sometimes you're going to realize that somebody thought was a supporter is now becoming a deterrent to the meeting or deterrent to what you're trying to accomplish, and they're detracting. They're bringing the meeting in a different direction, so detracting from what the original purpose was. So you have to understand who those people are at the start of your meeting, ideally, and as you see people changing their opinion on things, then you want to start classifying them within those two categories so that you can manage their personalities along throughout the meeting, ideally allowing people that are supporting your purpose a little further on and people that are detracting from your purpose, who are intentionally detracting, to maybe not get as much speech time. The alternate opinion to that is you also want to have good debate within a meeting. Debate brings new ideas, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about good debate that brings new ideas. I'm talking about people that are just extremely negative and they want to ruin the intent of a meeting. Maybe not outright, but they're just trying to make it difficult for you. That's not good debate. That's just a detractor that's bringing your meeting in the wrong direction. Along with those people and personalities, you've got fun people, people that are going to joke around and sort of waste a lot of the time. So you got to manage those people. Maybe saying, hey, don't forget we're here for a purpose. We're here for an outcome. You've got people that are going to be quiet. They might have very good value to bring to the meeting. So trying to encourage them to speak up. You've got people that are going to talk over you, talk over others. You got to try to manage those people, especially if the person they're talking over is quiet and not able to manage that really loud person. So you got to manage those personalities in different ways. And again, that's a topic for a different video. But that's a really critical aspect because within a meeting, it's people. So understanding and learning about personalities of people, and just through experience and trying different things, you'll make your meetings a lot more effective. A couple of other side notes from meetings and perhaps speaking in a public, or you're the focal point of the meeting, and if you get a little uncomfortable or anxious, first off, if you're shaking while you're trying to lead your meeting and because you're a little nervous, one thing to consider is don't have coffee. If you drink coffee or tea or caffeine, don't drink that about 2 hours before your meeting. Again, this comes from personal experience. If I'm going into a meeting and I know it's going to be a little intense, or I might be a little nervous about the meeting, I'm not going to drink caffeinated beverages a couple of hours before, because that will actually cause worse issues within the meeting. So that's one thing to consider. Another thing to consider that just helps you feel a little more confident within your meeting and able to manage the people better, is doing a little bit of exercise just before the meeting. So if you have an office, perhaps you can do 10 push-ups just to get the blood flowing. You'll feel a little more confident, or you can do some leg squats, or there's different things you can do just to get the blood flowing. Maybe walking up and down the stairs a few times if you have stairs within your building. You'd be shocked about those two aspects. Watch your caffeine intake before your meeting, and also doing a little bit of exercise will just give you a stronger confidence level and ability to manage the people that much better. If you like this video, like and subscribe. I'm a small channel right now, but planning to weekly provide my own insight, my own experience as an operations leader for many years, and trying to help you guys to perform better as leaders and managers.